Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So Clashfronts sign up period has just begun and I know unfortunately only 30 members are going to make it through, and so it could mean that setting your defense isn't going to actually make a difference. However, if you want to set your most solid defense, maybe your leaders will select you, then that is what this video is about. We're going to go ahead and lead it off with the free-to-play teams that I came up with, and I'm pretty happy actually with the first free-to-play team over here. This is going to be a Bonnie damage over time team, but we have Damon up front. He is going to be the Vanguard appointed magical damage dealer, and pretty much all of this team is dealing magical damage. We have Cal in the back for the shielding and protection for the whole team, and we have Siren to block the artifact. We're going to be spreading the Citron and Bonnie debuffs rapidly with all the magic damage and AoE damage we have on the team, and then you're going to also be sustaining yourself up, boosting your own magical damage thanks to the Vanguard spell, and having some penetration as well. So yeah, for free-to-play lineup, I think this can be a really decent team. Definitely should work out well. Okay, moving on to team 2. This is going to be Theodore Freeran boosting combo with Ravion further boosting up Freeran Lily May. This is a really good free-to-play option. No Himmel in case you didn't bother building Himmel even up to Supreme Plus. However, you can use Himmel at Supreme Plus. You'll see in the mid teams we're going to be running a Himmel one. But basically, this is going to work out well, and if you're a long-term player, you'll probably have some Paragon upgrades into Iron as well, and that's going to help you, because Iron is going to crowd control enemies for the first 6 seconds of the match. That is basically the whole plan here, and with the Breakthrough spell, just for more temporary buffs and powering up your Freeran even further. Iron will be taking an enemy Lily May interruption. Then moving on to team 3, this is just because if you've been playing for a while, you will have Shmira built, maybe probably Paragon upgraded. This is just a Pandora Shmira team comp with Newer to take an enemy Lily May interruption, Ludovic for the healing, Thorin for protecting the Pandora, and more protection with the Wingguard spell, just to make sure your team survives up until Shmira comes out of the box, and even after that, they'll survive for another good 5 seconds, and Shmira is going to begin bursting the opponent. And that is basically all we have about this team comp. Okay guys, so here we have our mid teams. Now this first team may look a little bit strange to you because you may be confused about the positioning. Why isn't Eevee in the center? Now I wanted to run Vanguard spell with the Gunner Gwyneth's team, and in order to do that you need to have Gunner frontmost, and you need to have you want to have Gwyneth rearmost, because you're going to be providing buffs from the Lightbearer Phantomal, Eevee at the beginning of battle, and you want to be having this going off on your Gwyneth. So that is why we position in what looks like an awkward way, but we do get basically Gwyneth rearmost and Gunner frontmost, which is all that we wanted. Vanguard spell has great synergy here. Alicet to be supporting the Gwyneth is great, but you don't have to run Alicet. Like, even if you have Kulu, Kulu is another great hero to be running in a comp like this, or you can literally use any other leftover hero you have. Even for example, if you want to throw Lily May in here, if you're not using Lily May in another team, you can do something like that. But Alicet is a really good option. She works even at Supreme Plus, and at a mid level you probably do have Alicet built. But if you don't have Gunner and you want to still run a comp like this, you can definitely run it with Hugin, you know, buffing up Gwyneth, in which case you can then decide, okay, maybe I don't want to go for Eevee, maybe I want to go for a different hero in here like Callan, just for some more protection, and you can still run it with the Vanguard spell here, because Callan is a physical damage dealer and Gwyneth is going to be your physical damage source. So if you went for a team comp like this, it would also be great, and having again Gwyneth in the back so she can be buffed up by the Phantomal. So like, this is another alternative option which is also going to be really solid, really good for you. And so definitely you could do that, but Gunner is definitely going to be the way to go. And Eevee, again, Eevee is not absolutely necessary in a comp like this. However, she synergizes by providing a big attack buff and a lot of healing throughout the course of the match onto your team, and the attack buff onto Gwyneth. Like, and then eventually you may also get your investigations complete, which is another story. But that's not as important. But yeah, just as a solid, basically supportive hero, another Lightbearer hero to be slotted in here. And so that is definitely good. Okay, moving on to team 2. Team 2 is going to be the standard Freewind Wilder comp, but running it with the Wingard spell for that additional protection is really important. And we have this team basically oriented in a way that we have Celise gonna cast her ultimate first. Now, there are a couple of reasons we do this. Number one, to take an enemy Lily May interruption. Number two, it actually gives you the full 5 seconds of Himmel in battle to amplify Freewind's magic, basically, to increase her damage output by 60% after those 5 seconds have passed fighting alongside Himmel. So then when Freewind does cast her ultimate, she's going to hit even harder. Those are the main reasons we do this. However, if you want to, you can also go for the reverse, which is just Freewind right out of the gate with the Theodore. She's going to be blowing up enemies really quickly, but this one does have, you know, the Lily May counter and the other thing, the amplification before her ultimate, which is an advantage. We're now going to be buffing up both of them, Celise and Freewind, so they hit harder, and Wingard just for that additional protection, which is really good for this team comp. It is my favorite artifact for this team comp. Now moving on to Team 3. So if you're at this mid-level, you definitely want to make use of your contests and twins into a stall type comp. Now, we're using Celise already in the Freewind team, so you can't run that here. However, I think Rowan Peggy, this is going to go crazy. Because, first of all, we're running Baelran, because if you are that mid-level, you may have Baelran, and Baelran can function even at Supreme Plus, depending on your matchups. And so you're going to give the energy potion onto Baelran. He's going to be ascending quickly, also giving melee damage boost and increased health to the Baelran. You're going to give the energy potion to Peggy, so 2 seconds into the match, or 1.5 seconds into the match, Peggy's going to cast her ultimate, and that is going to give your whole team, you know, that damage sharing and damage reduction, which is really big. You have the healing artifact just for more vitality and health and that periodic healing, because, yeah, your win condition is Baelran ascending, and then also surviving long enough for contests to silence enemies. Those are two major win conditions. So yeah, now obviously you don't have to use Peggy in a team like this. You could just get rid of Peggy and go for Lily May. Lily May also synergizes completely well with a Baelran contest team. Or really any contest stall team, because she's already going to take one ultimate and buy a bit more time for your team. And if the enemy has like a free win and your Lily May cancels that free win ultimate, that is game winning for a contest team. Because then the next time she casts her ultimate, like, she would have already been punished really hard by the contest. So yeah, Lily May is great, and we didn't already slot her into her team, so that would be a really good, like, natural placement here, but I think Peggy has overall more synergy, that damage sharing, and synergy with Rowan, who we're already using in this comp. That's really good. Now, again, if you don't want to use Baelran, but you have Saida, you can definitely run Saida here, and again, we can go for them for the Lily May comp. Lily May with the Rowan. Then here the Rowan energy potion is going to go on to Saida, so she's going to get off a fast ultimate, and then begin cycling. So that's also going to be a very effective, very decent team comp you can run. If you don't even have Saida, you can go for even Aurora. You can go for Aurora, but and like not really any but like. Yeah, Aurora is not going to benefit as much from this. I would probably give the Rowan then onto the Contest, so that Contest has a bit more damage reduction and health, because you just want Contest to survive. But going for a team comp like this is also going to be totally fine. And basically better to run a team like this rather than run like a Pandora Shmira at the mid-level, because Pandora Shmira cannot really stand up to the other teams. However, as you guys have noticed, we haven't run a dot team. So you can go for a damage over time team here as well. Like, you can completely mix up, go for your damage over time team. You can throw in the Kallen, you can go for a surging spell with the Zoria. This is still going to be very effective team comp, right? Like, you're going to have massive debuffs onto the enemy. You are going to, well, Kallen should not, we should swap this like this, but yeah, you're going to have Kallen protection. Zoria is then going to stall out while all that damage is ticking and while your surging spell damage is ticking. So definitely you could go for a comp like this as well. Okay, so we're going to move on to the pay-to-win teams, but before we do that, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated, so thank you all so much for your support. Okay guys, so here we have the pay-to-win teams. I think that these are going to be the 3 strongest teams, assuming you have all heroes built on your account. Number 1 is going to be the Gunner Gwyneth combo with Kulu as well, who has great synergy with Gwyneth. And we're also running it with Dunlinger Freewind. Now, Fruin does really well with Gunner because already Gunner is an absolute tanky beast, but Fruin's going to give him the defensive magic, so he's even harder to take down. Downlinger is going to prevent if the enemy is trying to go for Sulfura, the enemy is trying to go for Saida Contest. They're not going to have a good time into this. They are going to lose. So basically, two of the top meta PvP teams are going to get shut down by this team comp, and that's why I think running Downlinger on your Gunner squad is basically guaranteeing yourself a win on this team comp. And with the Vanguard, yeah, this is so that's why this is so good. But if you don't have Dunlinger or something, you can then think about making replacements, right? Like, if needed, you can replace with other things. For example, some ideas are if you just want to go for Aurora and block up, well, you can't go, you'll have to go for here because you want Vanguard spell on your Gunner, but you could go for a comp like this. You could keep the free in here if you wanted to, if you needed to. It still is going to give the defensive magic onto Gunner. Apart from this, though, you could also go for even Taylene. Now, Taylene has some interesting uses. Is she's going to give the power of renewal to give even more health recovery onto your Gunner, and she's also going to be rear mode so she can take debuffs from the enemy and just shrug it off and resurrect herself. So things like that, those are things you would want to consider, but definitely Downlinger is by far the best choice for a team like this. Okay, moving on to Team 2, it is the standard, gold standard Sulfura Elna team with Hepler giving the additional life to Sulfura. It's as old as time. This is one of the top meta teams right now with Xandrok, of course, because those buffs that he provides are very game-changing. And breakthrough spell just to try to get off a faster ultimate, which is the win condition with your Sulfura, of course. And we have the Phantom in the back right, so he can take debuffs if needed from the opponent. Okay, moving on to Team 3, this is going to be the Saida Contest Stall team. Now, this is why we're not using Alicent on Team 1. Even though Alicent does well with Gwyneth, Alicent giving another life to contest is also really key when you're running these Saida Contest teams. If you're facing up against a Freerin team, if you're facing up against a hard nuking, quick nuking team, they potentially could just nuke your contest before your contest has much time to even punish the enemies. But with the extra life of Alicent, it's basically impossible for the initial nuke to kill the contest. And from that point on, she is most likely going to expel the major carries, ultimate base carries on the enemy team. And that is why Alicent is good. Now here, rather than, if you guys remember what I've been running in Supreme Arena, I was running Pang. However, rather than running Pang in a team comp like this, I'm really leaning more towards Eevee after more testing, because Eevee, number one in Clashfronts, you can usually get a really nice juicy target with Eevee jumping right into the middle of the map. But even if you don't, the healing that she provides, the eventual attack buff she provides to your carry, hardest hitting damage, that is big. And then also, if she's able to investigate all enemies, which is definitely possible if your team lives long enough, especially with the ultimate cycling of Twins and Saida, if she's able to investigate all enemies, it reduces their damage output. And it basically sets them up to be killed by your Saida. And really, with this team comp, is just around, let Saida live for as long as possible with the healing from Eevee, with the energy and the health from and a stat buff from Twins, and then also the silencing from Contest. This is all to allow Saida to live longer. And we have Wingard spell just because more initial survival, which is the only kind of thing, the problem this team can run into. So anyway, guys, that is going to be it for my best set of 3 teams for the different spending levels. Hopefully this is helpful, and we haven't even made a video like this in the past because normally I always do a set of 5 teams that you can pick and choose from, setting it up for Vanguard players, but now because we are in sign up where you can only select 3 teams, you cannot even lock in 5 teams right now. It's impossible to appoint a Vanguard right now. I don't know if it's a glitch. There definitely are some issues in the submission, but that's why we have our strongest 3 teams, and hopefully they do work out well for you. Now, what I want to also talk about before we end off this video is in Clashfronts, if we just briefly go over this reward preview again, I want to correct something which I think I misinterpreted when I made my initial video on this. It seems like what you see here, the member rewards, every single reward here is going to be granted to all 90 guild members, including your A-level chests, which should be hopefully 8 as before, and then the 2 S-level chests, which were what we had before. However, for the players, the 30 members who are selected to participate, they are going to be eligible for an extra participant reward, which may be 1 extra S-level chest. I don't know the numbers on this, but that's what it is seeming like, and you guys can read it here more more clearly, but yeah, I definitely think I did misinterpret that. And if you guys want to look into the admin role, the manage sign up feature, you can manually approve and disapprove people. It will, like, by default do your highest power players, but then you can tick people off and tick people on, as you guys see here. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to wait until all the players have signed up, and then you're going to make your selections. Like, there's plenty of time left up until Monday basically. But yeah, that's it guys. So hopefully this video is helpful. Let me know if you have any other tips about Clashfronts or teams that you're trying to use. You can feel free to share, copy paste your formation ID, share in the comment section. Others can definitely try it out. That is always interesting. Thank you guys all so much for watching. That is going to be it for this video. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.